Let's talk about our favorite beaches on St. John and the U.S. Virgin Islands and break down the pros and cons of each. This will include the world-famous Trunk Bay, which was ranked as the #1 beach in the world according to the 2024 list of World's 50 Best Beaches. Will it be our favorite? Stick around to find out. My name's Rich, and welcome to the channel where we learn our travel info the hard way so you don't have to. St. John is one of 3 main U.S. Virgin Islands, along with St. Thomas and St. Croix. It's the smallest of the 3, and about 2/3 of the island is protected as the Virgin Islands National Park, which means that a lot of the beaches are pristine and undeveloped. You can get to St. John by ferry from St. Thomas in about 20 minutes. I'll leave links in the description below where you can check out ferry schedules. Once you're here, you'll find some of the clearest water and most natural beaches anywhere in the Caribbean. Since we were staying on St. Thomas and only had 1 day on St. John, we decided to only focus on the beaches along the North Shore Road. Not only is it one of the most scenic drives on the island, but it also gives you easy access to some of St. John's best spots without spending all day in the car. We figured the most efficient use of our time would be to start at the furthest beach away from the ferry terminal and then work our way back towards town, stopping at different beaches along the way. First stop, Francis Bay. We got here first thing in the morning. Definitely recommend that. So there was plenty of parking and the beach was nearly empty.
The drive in here is a little sketchy. Take it as slow around those curves as you need to. Stay to the left. Remind yourself, even if you have to say it out loud multiple times, stay to the left. It's not really the curves that makes it sketchy, it's the narrowness. You never know around every curve. You don't know if you're gonna have a headlight meet with another car or not. So Francis Bay, let's check it out.
The water was calm and clear, and we even spotted a sea turtle, which was a pretty rad way to start the morning.
Austin and Tina said they're going in. I need it to get a little warmer. It's 8 in the morning and the sun just hasn't quite come up high enough yet. Yeah, I might have to get in. I think there's a turtle right over there. Yeah, I might have to get in.
The southern end of the beach gets a little rocky, so if you plan to walk or snorkel down that way, be sure to bring some water shoes or at least something with a sturdy sole.
This would be the perfect time to break out my closed-toed waterproof hiking sandals, brought to you by Keen.
My wife and I use these Keen closed-toe waterproof hiking sandals, and they've held up great over the last couple of years.
Seriously though, these things are a game changer. If you're doing any hiking, these things make all the difference in the world. They're fully functional like a pair of hiking shoes, but the closed toe, you're not going to stub your toe or rip a toenail off or anything. After the Costa Rica trip, I won't travel without them.
I'll drop a link in the description if you want to check them out. The only real downside here was the bathroom. It's more of an outhouse setup with no sink and honestly, not the most pleasant. It's usable, but definitely not the best part of the experience. Other than that, Francis Bay is peaceful, scenic, and a great spot if you want to avoid crowds. But was it our favorite? Not quite. Let's go check out the next one. Next up is Cinnamon Bay Beach. This one was an instant favorite for us. Unfortunately, my GoPro decided to quit working for the rest of the day, so everything from here on out was filmed on my phone. Just a heads up if you notice a shift in quality. Cinnamon Bay has a little bit of everything. The beach itself is long, clean, and absolutely gorgeous. Soft white sand, turquoise water, and plenty of space to spread out. There was also plenty of parking available when we got there, which was a nice surprise compared to some of the smaller beaches nearby. One of the coolest surprises here was the old sugar plantation ruins right across the road. There's a short nature trail that winds through the old factory foundations, with signs along the way that tell a bit of the island's history. I didn't get any footage, but it's definitely worth a quick walk if you're already there anyways. The beach also has restrooms, showers, a general store, and even a food truck, so it is one of the more convenient stops along the North Shore. The facilities are a little on the rustic side, but totally usable. And if you're planning to stay overnight, Cinnamon Bay is actually home to the island's only campground. They've got everything from bear tent sites to eco tents and small cottages. Just make sure to reserve ahead if you're visiting during the busy season, which typically runs from December through April when tourism is at its peak. The snorkeling here is great too. Calm water, great visibility, and plenty of sea life around the rocks near the east end and Cinnamon Key just offshore. Overall, Cinnamon Bay checks a lot of boxes. It's beautiful, easy to access, full of amenities, and packed with history. Was it our favorite? Well, let's just say the next one gives it some serious competition. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. We've got a lot more travel videos like this coming up, and your support really helps the channel grow. Now on to Trunk Bay. Easily the most famous beach on St. John, and for good reason. Trunk Bay has been ranked as one of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world. In fact, it was recently named the #1 beach on the world's 50 best beaches list for 2024. And while it's definitely stunning, there's a few things you'll want to know before you go. First off, this one easily earns its reputation. The beach is absolutely beautiful. Powder white sand, crystal clear turquoise water, and it is kept immaculately. The facilities stand out too. Plenty of clean bathrooms and showers, kayaks and snorkel gear for rent, and they even had some barbecue pits with picnic tables under the trees. The grills are simple, but they will do the job if you want to fire something up. Parking and access to the beach are also good. There's a dedicated lot, though it can fill up. And since this is one of the few beaches on St. John with full amenities, it's an easy choice for a family-friendly stop. On the flip side, there is an admission fee. It's part of the Virgin Islands National Park, so you will have to pay to enter. Also, while the snorkeling is decent, you've got the famous underwater snorkel trail with markers along the way. It might not blow you away if you've already been somewhere with an intricate reef system. Some visitors do mention that the coral isn't as vibrant as it once was. Also, it is crowded. When cruise ships are in or later in the day, crowds do pick up. But even with all the people, it didn't ruin our experience. The beach is huge and we were able to find plenty of space without the crowds being a problem. All in all, Trunk Bay is an incredible, top-tier beach. Easy access, strong amenities, gorgeous scenery, perfect for families or anyone who wants a full-featured beach day. Honestly, I can see why it was ranked as one of the best beaches in the world. Trunk Bay checks every box. Stunning views, perfect sand, everything you want in a beach. But our final stop had something hidden just beneath the surface.
All right, this is our last stop of the day. It was supposed to be Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer didn't have any parking. We drove down to Honeymoon Beach. There was no parking close enough to walk to the beach, so you had to take a shuttle down there, and they charged $12 per person to ride the shuttle. I said, scratch that. There's 7 of us. It's going to end up being, I don't know. You do the math. I got to go back to the car to get Mama's closed-toed waterproof hiking sandals. Brought to you by Keen. It looks like there's probably going to be some good snorkeling here because there's a reef right by where we parked our stuff. Let's dive in.
So our last stop on St. John was Hawksnest Beach, and this place is a true gem in its own right. Now, it's not as big or as fancy as Trunk Bay or Cinnamon Bay, and that's really part of its charm. It's laid back, easy to get to, and there's plenty of parking right there by the beach.
So that little white house over there is where Oppenheimer lived. That's Oppenheimer Beach. We could swim over there if we wanted to, but probably just going to hang out over here.
And there are bathrooms too. Nothing fancy, but they'll do the trick. But what really makes this beach special is the reef. Just swim out a little bit and you're surrounded by this amazing underwater world. Vibrant coral, tons of fish, just like a little hidden ecosystem. It's honestly one of the coolest snorkeling spots I've ever seen. I didn't get any footage of the reef because my GoPro was done for the day, but it actually reminded me of snorkeling near another island called Little St. James. Let's just say it's a beautiful reef with a not so beautiful reputation.
I really wish my GoPro was working. That's the best snorkeling we've seen at any beach. We did a snorkeling tour the other day on a chartered boat. This is like a miniature version of that. I could do that all day. Float above it and just inspect it, explore it. Fish that are hiding underneath it start coming out, chasing each other around. Hawksnest, best snorkeling beach we've been to so far, not even a question. It's like you're catching a glimpse into an ecosystem on another planet.
A snorkel guide earlier in our trip told us the longer you look at the coral, the more alive it becomes. It sounded kind of poetic at the time, but he was absolutely right. After a few minutes, the reef starts looking like it's breathing, and vibrant fish emerge from everywhere. The water was nice and calm and shallow enough that the kids could have fun without any worries. It was perfect for a relaxing day, and we all had a blast. And get this, I even spotted a mongoose when I was headed back from the car. Totally random, but it did add to the island vibe. Hawksnest might not have all the bells and whistles like Trunk Bay, but if you love snorkeling and nature, then it should definitely be at the top of your list. Every beach we saw in St. John had its own vibe. Francis Bay was super peaceful, Cinnamon Bay was adventurous, Trunk Bay was picture perfect, but for me, Hawksnest was the one that really brought that wild, natural beauty of the island to life. If you're staying on St. Thomas and thinking of going parasailing while you're there, I've added this video of a company that we went out with and had an incredible time, so be sure to check that out, and I will see you there.